So our reality is built up of notions. Our deepest beliefs, our deepest understanding about the way things are, is no more than convention. It's no more than notions or concepts. These notions and concepts give a certain tone to our reality. What we think of as reality is a very deep relationship, but it's no more than a conceptual understanding which we have somehow replaced our deepest intuitions about things with. A simple example of this is one that I've mentioned recently. When you're looking in a mirror, we don't really relate to that person that's getting old and decrepit. Well, hopefully not too decrepit. The person we feel we really are does not age, does not die, and yet we're constantly dismissing that feeling because we know we're going to die. Everybody dies. Everybody ages to some extent. So our basic intuition is replaced by that belief. We're told that what we really feel about our nature is false. Of course we're going to die. Of course we age. That's the indisputable, inescapable fact, isn't it? These are the notions which we subscribe to. These are the notions which we are compelled to subscribe to. Let's dismiss them. Let's dismiss them. Let's be established in our sense of immortality. This doesn't mean to say that we behave stupidly and walk in front of cars. We don't check the road for cars when we're crossing it. That's not what it means. We operate in different modes. We don't reject one mode for the other. We don't reject the scientific mode. We don't reject the conventional mode. We don't reject our cultural mode. The only one we seem to reject is our essential intuition. Let's at least give it equal status. But we don't replace the other modes with it. We get it all into perspective. So there are times it's appropriate to be operating in a conventional mode with the understanding, yes, we will die at some point. We should make some funeral arrangements. But that doesn't have to be the only reality. It isn't the only reality. There is the mode that is infinite. It is immortal. It's not subject to time nor space. It's here. It's in you. Let's acknowledge it. Let's dwell in it whenever we can. It's not a question of behaving stupidly. It's a question of acknowledging all that is going on. It's a question of acknowledging the relative nature of conventional reality. Relating to it when we need to, but not replacing it with our true understanding. We do this with the sunrise and sunset. We still talk about sunrise and sunset. That's clearly what's happening. Clearly the sun is moving around the earth, or at least moving across the sky. The scientific picture tells us otherwise. No, it's the earth going around the sun. We know that, but we don't let that objective fact change our experience. We still talk about sunrise, sunset, the sun's high in the sky. We manage to accommodate both points of view, don't we? Without getting worried about the contradiction. This is what we can do. So we have these concepts, these notions about reality, which we somehow generally replace with our own innate wisdom and understanding. This movement in consciousness, along with the self-limitation in consciousness, serves as the seed for everything. But there is no cause or seed for the movement in consciousness. There is no distinction between the seed and the sprout. Therefore, all this, body, etc., is but movement in consciousness. Again, we're getting the understanding that the body is also notional. A concept, a notion, is a movement in consciousness. This is what characterizes us as human beings. This movement is obviously omnipotent, and hence is able to manifest the gods and the demons and other creatures, mobile and immobile, sentient and insentient. This is the creative principle. It's our cognitive process. It's what creates our reality. We tend to think of this as amazing. It's creating matter out of nothing. It's not. It's creating notions of matter, notions of materiality. They who assert that a person and his actions, karma, or we could say characteristics, are different and distinct, are animals in human semblance. Salutation to them. So we're not having any truck with any disagreement here. A person and his actions, and here we've been talking in terms of characteristics, and here the characteristics are the formation of concepts, the movement in consciousness, the formation in concepts, the identification with these concepts, the creation of our reality. They are what we are. They are what consciousness does. The seed which sprouts as the world is the self-limitation or conditioning in consciousness. Burn that seed by non-attachment or freedom. Non-volitional action, which is non-action in action, is known as non-attachment or freedom. You behave naturally, rather than in accordance with your belief in reality. Or the uprooting of conditioning, vasana, is known as non-attachment or freedom. Attain this freedom by any means. That means by which you are able to destroy the seed of vasana, your conditioning, is the best. In this, nothing but self-effort is of any avail. And that self-effort is the effort of self-inquiry.